Transmashholding is a Russian company. It's the largest rolling stock manufacturer in Russia and CIS. It's a company which was formed in the early 2000s out of the privatization of the Russian railways, where they decided that operation and rolling stock manufacturing were to be separated for the sake of efficiency and reliability. So it's a privately owned company, and it dates back, obviously it carries the knowledge and the industrial capacity of the Russian railways for the last 100 years. Most of the sites we have, the 14 sites we have for new build in Russia, are all with an industrial background of about 100 years. And a few years ago, TMH went through a service phase where in 2007 they started a service business, which is now about 60,000 people and 15,000 locomotives under maintenance. The Russian network is quite big. It's 85,000 kilometers altogether. So that's quite a sizable network. And the company is 100,000 people. So 60% in service, 40% in new build. And a few years ago they decided to go for an expansion internationally. The reason for this is mostly to be able to manufacture outside of Russia, because Russia is today very busy, so they need capacity outside, closer to customer. And it fits quite nicely with what we want to do in Africa, and they decided to focus on 6 countries: Americas, Africa, and a little bit of Asia to start with. And obviously it's a long process, so it's better to start from a modest number of countries rather than spread ourselves thin. So overall the investment strategy outside Russia is 50 billion rand, sorry. So that's quite sizable, and but for South Africa it will be in the first run 500 million, which we will dedicate to acquisition and expansion of capacity in country. And why we talk South Africa when we talk Africa is because in our assessment we thought that South Africa was at the moment for us best place to start. There is a large railway network, there is a quite deep supplier and capacity in country, and there is a local market in the railway industry for rolling stock and services, and we believe that there is also a large market which we can tap from South Africa on the neighboring countries of the continent. And we are also thinking at Egypt for Africa, but at the moment it's, I would say, a bit on the back burner compared to South Africa. So today we are announcing something on South Africa because that's the first country we are stepping in on the continent. So what it entails obviously the purchase of manufacturing facility in South Africa, which is existing also for 100 years, so it's kind of the motto for us. It's based in Boksburg, so very close to Johannesburg. It's the former DCD rolling stock manufacturing site, which we acquire fully with the people and the site and the industrial capacity. And so part of this is the acquisition, and part of it is obviously expanding the capacity, creating space for new technologies to be brought in the site to be able to be delivered for South Africa, whether it is on sub-assembly, component, or on the service side, because some of the servicing needs a bit more technological improvement compared to what is existing. And obviously a chunk of that money is also reserved for upskilling people, because we believe it's necessary to have people who are on the ball running with the new technologies and the new capacity we can bring. So we need to upskill a lot of the people, so we have a plan for that as well. So that's the first investment. And then obviously if we are to manufacture component or sub-assembly, we need some capex investment to be able to upgrade or create some production facilities in the site we are acquiring. This is part of our investment. So it's a 5-year plan of 500 million rand investment. So first component out of the shop floor somewhere late 2019. Today the deal is still under regulatory confirmation, so we're expecting to to have the green light of the regulator. Once we have the green light, we will be fully in command of the site, and then we can have a proper schedule about what we want to do in country. So, as I said, one of the reasons why we are setting ourselves up in South Africa is because of the South African market, which is one of the largest rail market on the continent, and that's obviously to serve that market. We are really an international company. We are really ready to expand, but let's walk first before we run. So we are acquiring a facility. We need to get this up and running. We need to be strong and capable on our own market before we can go out. And in terms of focus, we are a very diesel locomotive passenger coach focused corporation globally, and this is what we will be doing in South Africa, and then doing the service and the maintenance of this type of equipment. So the engagement dates back late 2017, where we did all the due diligence and all the assessment of the company, and we have closed the deal earlier this month, and we are expecting to, we have signed the deal earlier this month, and we're expecting to close most probably in the course of the month of August.